The spark that ignited the world. Unraveling the causes of World War I. Did you ever wonder how a single event, the assassination of an Austrian archduke, could trigger a global conflict like World War I? In this story, we'll delve into the complex web of alliances, rivalries, and nationalistic fervor that fueled this devastating war. Imagine a Europe simmering with tension. For decades, powerful empires like Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Russia had been locked in a precarious game of power politics. Each nation saw itself as the rightful leader of Europe, and alliances formed like dominoes, pulling smaller countries into the fray. Balkan tensions reached a boiling point in 1914. This region, a patchwork of ethnicities and religious groups, was a tinderbox waiting to explode. Serbia, a small nation with big ambitions, wanted to unite the South Slavs under its banner. This directly threatened Austria-Hungary, a multinational empire with a large Slavic population. Then, on a fateful day in June, the spark ignited. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, visited Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia. A young Serbian nationalist, Gavrilo Princip, saw his chance. He shot and killed both the Archduke and his wife, Sophie. The assassination wasn't just a personal tragedy, it was a political earthquake. Austria-Hungary, furious and seeking revenge, blamed Serbia for the act despite limited evidence. The empire issued Serbia an impossible ultimatum, knowing full well they wouldn't comply. Russia, Serbia's powerful protector, entered the fray. This triggered a domino effect of alliances. Germany, bound to Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia. France, allied with Russia, declared war on Germany. Britain, fearing German dominance in Europe, joined the fight alongside France and Russia. The Great War, as it was then called, had begun. But it wasn't just about a single assassination or even one nation's ambition. It was the culmination of years of nationalism. Each nation believed in its own superiority and destiny, leading to a clash of wills, imperialism. Empires like Austria-Hungary and Germany sought to expand their territories and influence, fueling tensions with smaller nations. Militarism. Armies grew larger and more sophisticated, creating a climate of fear and preparedness for war. Alliances. A complex web of treaties obligated nations to defend their allies, dragging them into conflicts they might otherwise avoid. The war that began in 1914 was a brutal and costly affair. Millions of soldiers perished in muddy trenches, victims of machine guns, poison gas, and artillery barrages. Millions more were left wounded, physically and mentally. The war shattered empires, redrew borders, and ushered in a new era of global instability. But even amidst the devastation, World War I left a lasting legacy. It gave birth to new nations, challenged colonial empires, and paved the way for the League of Nations, a precursor to the United Nations. It also exposed the dangers of unchecked nationalism and militarism, lessons that would tragically be forgotten in the decades that followed. So, the next time you hear about World War I, remember it wasn't just about one assassination or one nation. It was a complex web of historical forces, woven together by ambition, fear, and ultimately the failure of diplomacy. It was a stark reminder of how a single spark can ignite a global fire, and the importance of understanding the tangled threads that bind nations together, for better or for worse. This story is just a glimpse into the vast and fascinating history of World War I. There are countless individuals, battles, and events that shaped this conflict. If you're curious to learn more, dig deeper into the lives of soldiers, politicians, and ordinary people who lived through this extraordinary and tragic time. Let's remember the lessons of World War I. Not just its horrors, but also its calls for peace, cooperation, and understanding. In a world still grappling with conflict and division, these lessons are more relevant than ever. What are your thoughts on the causes of World War I? Share your insights in the comments below.